All right, welcome back to season 3 of our show. And today, it's cold smoked sockeye salmon. We're going to show you how to get this salted up and smoked up. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Okay, so today, again, sockeye salmon. Like I said, we're cold smoking this, and we're going to show you how to get this done. So you're going to need some kosher salt, and I like kosher salt. I'm using a Diamond kosher salt. It's a low sodium salt that I'm using on here because I want to get a nice taste and I don't want this fish too salty. So the first thing we're going to do is just lift it up by the tail and just start to put some salt down. Now this side of the fish is meatier and this side is a lot less meatier. So what we'll do on the tail part, we're just going to put just a little bit of salt on the tail part. And on this half, where the thick part is of the fish right here, we're going to add a little bit more salt in the shape of the fish. So just put that down just like that, and then we're going to lift up this side of the fish and turn this around so I could show you. This is the thin side of the fish, and we're just going to put down just a little bit on that side. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Go thicker there, and just a little bit on the tail. I'll flip it back around and show you this side, and we're going to go light on that side and very light on the tail end. There we go. Okay, so now we want to lightly salt this half. This is the thin part of the fish. We're going to lightly salt that, and we're going to lightly salt the tail. A little bit more. On the thickest part, we're going to hit that heavy. Trying not to get the thin pieces hit so hard. So this salt is going to penetrate the thicker part harder. Now the reason why we're using sockeye salmon today is because it's a lean fish. It doesn't have as much fat in the fish. Now this fish right here is a wild fish. Let's get that on there. And it's not farm raised like a lot of salmons today. And it has a lot less fat in it. So this is always a good thing for smoking like Nova. Alright, and I think I'm going to go about there with it. I'm going to go a little bit more on this spot up here. You can actually see that salt. And on the tail, a lot less. Alright, just a little bit more on that end. And now you got your fish salted. That's it. Alright, so now that it's salted, we're going to wrap this. And we're going to let it go 2 days, 48 hours to bring out all the moisture in here. Now this dates back a very long time. They use this to preserve fish. That's what cold smoking's for. And cold smoking has no heat. So we're going to smoke this with just cold temperature smoke. There's zero heat to that. And you want to do this on basically anywhere from 60 degrees and up, but don't go over 100 degrees. So on a hot day, this is not a very good thing to do. You want a nice cool day. I like to do this around 70 degrees and keep my fish at about 70 degrees the whole way through. So I usually cold smoke at night just to keep that temperature down. I live in the South, and in the South we try to take advantage of all those cool days. And this is one thing I do, and then I could freeze this, put it in my freezer and keep it for a while. So just like that, we're going to wrap it Now all this moisture is going to come out of here, and you'll see that when we come back, and then we rinse the fish. So make sure the plastic is over it. Stick it just like this in the fridge and don't touch it. 48 hours and we'll see you right back. So stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, 48 hours later, let's show you what we got. Look at these fish. Look at all that water that came out of there. And it changed the texture of the fish. You can see it, it's just stiffer. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to take the fish and we want to get it in a water bath. So I'm going to take a little water and a bath and put it in there. Now you can do two things. You can let this run in the sink for about an hour and just get some of that salt out of here, or you can soak this like this. So what I'll do is just probably let it sit like this for a couple hours. I'll change the water and I'll just come back. That's what you want to do. And try not to disturb the meat. So just leave the meat alone and just let that get out some of that salt. And now look at all the salt that's left over on the tray. It just disappeared, and you can see that water on the tray now. That was all coming out of that fish. So that's what you wanted, to draw out that moisture in there. And now we're gonna get the salt out of the fish. After we do this, we're gonna take them out, we're gonna hang them, and we're gonna dry them. So they're gonna dry for about 3 hours with a fan over them. And then we're gonna start to cold smoke them. And that's it. We'll meet you back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so our fish now is out of the water bath. Now what you wanna do from here is take some vegetable oil, and you wanna just start to spray the bottom. And what that's gonna do is get that fish to get tacky. I'm just gonna spray it just like that. So when you're smoking this, you want that smoke to stick onto the fish. So I'm just gonna rub it in just like that. All you need is a little light rub of that. So normally people air this out and they would let this fish get that tackiness by itself, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna use the oil to help gain more smoke, and it's gonna be a little bit more adhesive to that smoke. Now we're gonna go in with just a little black pepper. Just with the one fish, I wanna change up some flavor, give it a little different flavor profile on here. And we're just using just a little basic black pepper. A good amount. Now this fish is going to be sliced paper thin. So don't worry about the black pepper. Now I'm just going to take my hand and just pat it in. Just like that. And when it hang dries and gets hit with the smoke, it'll lose a little bit of that black pepper, but no big deal. I'm going to put a little bit more on the end. And now we're going to have a peppered salmon. Just like that. That will taste excellent when we slice these pieces. Onto the dryer we go. Don't go anywhere. All right, our fish is going in our cold smoke unit. We're gonna have 25 hours in here, 25 to 27 hours in here. That's all of our smoke. We don't wanna let it out. We're gonna leave a link in the description to a cold smoke video. It explains everything about cold smoking, but there's no heat here. This is just cold smoke, exactly what it is. No temperature here. It's about an 80-degree night out right now, and we're just letting this roll straight through. And we'll meet you back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, 24 hours in the cold smoker. Let's show you what we got. Take a look at this. Now, this one's vacuum sealed, and you want to do that. So they came out of the cold smoker. I let them chill out in the fridge for about 4 hours. Then I vacuum sealed them. I vacuum sealed this one. This one's going to be vacuum sealed in just a little bit. And you want to let them chill out for about 2 days before you go slice it into them. This one we're actually going a little premature with just to show you guys, but I'm going to vacuum seal this back up later on. So let's just get a couple of pieces off of here. Now today, I'm making my favorite, which is lox and eggs. I'm just going to start off with the end of that now. So you're going to slice this way to the tail end. That's how you want to slice that. But you want to get these pieces like here where I hung it, you want to get these off first. But they're not going to go to waste because they're going to go inside eggs. We're making some lox with eggs. So just goes thin slices just like that. Now the tail end's going to be a little bit hard, so these pieces here, you just have to judge them out if you want to put them in your eggs or not. Just judge them out and just get a nice slicing knife like this one, and you want to go very close to the end. So those guys right here, once you get those pieces off of here, now you just got to start slicing more into the meat like that. Nice thin slices. Now I always do the first pieces like this because they're a little bit more drier. And I'm just going to come down really thin like that. And let's just give this a shot. Excellent. It's smoky. A little bit on the salty side. But let's just go down and do our best here. All right, those are the slices you're looking for, just like that. And off to the side we go. Well, that's how you want that. Now I'm going to get the slicing on here, and we're going to meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got a couple of pieces of that salmon nice and sliced up, and we're going to show you how to do a very fast, simple egg. Now, I got some scallions here. Now, we're not using any salt in here because it's salty already. That was salted and cured in salt, so we're not going to use any salt on here. So we're going to just use a couple of scallions. Now, this is a dish that is just beautiful for breakfast in the morning, or brunch, or any time actually. And it's very simple to make, and all you need is just a few scallions. I'm going to use a couple of the white pieces in here, but mostly it's green that you're going to use. And just a little bit of the white. And I think I'm going to go about there. Maybe a couple more pieces. You know, it's funny, if you put a bunch of scallions together, it's so much easier to cut than just a couple of strands of them. A couple of strands of them, you're working. All right, there you go. Maybe just a little bit more of that white. Just feel it out, make it yours. When I'm cutting, let's just cut up all of them. There we go. Now I can judge how much I'm going to put in here. Got a little plate here. Let's just get them over. And I have some eggs here. Now these are farm fresh eggs. I don't have any chickens in my backyard, but my neighbor has a lot of them, so I get free eggs all the time. And we just trade off different things. All right, I'm gonna put a little milk in here just to make them fluffy. And look at the color of those. Those are fresh farm eggs, and they're just very orangey, bright orange. And that's a fresh egg for you, so we're just gonna beat that up real good. Now I'm going to beat these up for about 2 minutes. If I had a blender, I would just put the blender on high and let them go. But a big mistake that people make is that they don't really beat the egg up enough to make it fluffy. You know, when you do them right, your arm's going to be real tired. But if you don't want a tired arm, use a blender. But you can see those bubbles in there really coming together. If you do this right, it should look like you almost added soap to the batch. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna beat them again when we get to the stove. Don't go anywhere. All right, first things first, I slowly melted some butter. And I'm gonna leave my heat on, medium. And I'm gonna use my pan like this. And you'll just use the pan to just remove it from the heat. But I'm not gonna touch the heat level. So the first thing we'll do is we're gonna go in with our eggs. Just like that. Now this is gonna be almost like you're making an omelet, but you're not. We're gonna go in with our scallion. Now you don't want to put too much onion because they release water and you'll be stuck with runny, watery eggs with too much onion. So make sure you have the right ratios. And then I'm gonna go in with our salmon, just like that. And just space it out. I'm gonna go in with all of it. Now when this salmon hits heat like this over the stove, it's gonna change again. So we salted it, smoked it, it changed one time. Now that it's in the pan, it's gonna change another time and it's gonna release a different flavor than eating it without heat on it. So we're just gonna go nice and easy and just wait for our eggs to start to come up. This is very important. You don't want to put a lot of heat on here and burn this. So a lot of people make a mistake by putting their salmon in the pan and giving it a lot of heat. Now, if you give it a lot of heat, the oils are going to come out way too fast. And you're basically going to just dry the fish out. So you want a nice gentle egg. And just wait. Just like that. Just move the egg around, very gentle on the salmon. And don't just mush it all up. So I'm going to drag the egg back, get some more egg in there, and give it just a nice gentle cook. Now if I feel things are rolling too fast, I'm going to lift it off the heat. Just like that. Let my eggs cook. I'm going to put them back on. Give them a little bit more heat. And lift it up. Until they're cooked. Just like that. I'll go back down again. And that is the proper way to make lox and eggs. And just pull it off the heat and let the residual heat cook the rest of the egg. Like that. That's it. We're done. We're going to get situated and we're going to meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are. Salmon and eggs. Let's show you what we got. So this is what it should look like. Eggs perfectly cooked and salmon perfect. Easy, simple recipe. I hope you guys like this one. If you like this video and more videos about to come, hit that bell this way you get all those notifications. We thank you, we enjoyed having you, and until the next time, gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.